Hello everyone and welcome back. Today's video is something that's a little bit different, and it's not a mod, it's not some review on something, it's not information, it's a goodbye. Goodbye to a good friend. So you may notice in the background there is no patrol. You probably can't see much in the background, the camera settings are locked so you can actually see my face. But in the background there is no patrol. It is gone. There's a few reasons behind it, and I thought we should discuss them here today. Now, I'm sure there'll be a lot of comments saying you're going to regret it, and I mean, I've already copped a heap of that from my mates. And yeah, of course, I'll miss the V8 sound. I'll miss just the patrol being the patrol that it is. Yeah, I'll miss that. But I thought we should discuss the reasons with no hype, no carry on, no brand loyalties, just real, no crap reasons why I got rid of the patrol. Now, when I bought the patrol, it ticked all the big boxes. It had V8 power, it was comfortable, it was genuinely capable off-road. And when I bought my patrol, the community was relatively small. The patrol hadn't gained the following that it has now. There wasn't a heap of people doing videos like I was doing. There wasn't so many crazy builds. The information was scarce, and it was just a different place to own a patrol. Accessories weren't horribly priced, and the Series 5 was fairly new on the block. The Y62 has taken me on some really amazing trips, some really amazing parts of the country, and I learnt a lot working on that car and doing everything myself. And of course, it was a massive part of this channel. It's what helped grow this channel to where it is now, and I mean, yeah, it was a great journey. So this isn't me bagging on the Y62, it's far from it. I loved the car. Nissan, in the most part, were good to deal with if I had any dramas. I didn't get rid of it just because I didn't like it. I would still have it now. It was an awesome car, but awesome doesn't necessarily mean practical. So why did I sell the patrol then? If I like it so much, why would you get rid of it? Well, there is a few reasons behind it. So we might as well start with the elephant in the room. As many of us know, cost of ownership is a massive thing with a Y62. While that wasn't the major reason why I sold the patrol, it was definitely a contributing factor. Fuel, tyres, brakes, servicing, it all adds up. And you know, some years it was very easy to spend 30 grand plus on all of those things. I drive the car a lot, and I drive it spiritedly majority of the time. Meaning that the brakes, tyres, fuel consumption, all of it can really add up. I mean, I'd go through probably a set of tyres every 2.5 years. You know, the brakes brake pads at least were getting due to be replaced. Can you sort it out, camera, please? And 18.8 litres per 100 around town was getting a little bit old. Whilst of course you will expect that with, it being about 3.4 tons and being a V8 and, being thirsty. It just is the nature of the beast, and that is fine. I don't have a problem with that. When you add in the other factors of it not being practical and, not exactly ticking the boxes now, it just didn't make sense to keep it. And here's something else that a lot of owners don't talk about. It seems that, I don't know, a lot of the community is sort of a bit oblivious to the fact that accessories are just ridiculously overpriced for what they are. Now, I've said it multiple times in my videos that, I'll support Australian business and that, I will always buy good quality parts, and that's not going to change. I will always spend the money on buying good quality parts, and I do not regret any of the accessories that I bought for the Patrol. They were all excellently made, great quality, and I will continue to do that for the rest of my car ownership career. I like to have the best of what is reasonably priced. And I mean, I'm not going to knock manufacturers for making a product and then pricing it accordingly, but in the same breath, the Patrol has grown exponentially in its popularity, and it seems that a lot of the manufacturers are capitalizing on that. Back when the Y62 first launched, the Series 1, it was nowhere near where it is today. A lot of people hated it. They despised the new Patrol and they thought it was going to be rubbish. The GU was still the thing to have and was still seen as being the ultimate Patrol. Do you need to have all these accessories on your car? No, you don't. You don't need to spend the high prices to buy these things and have them on your car. There isn't a requirement for them to be on the car. It's, your personal taste and what you needed to do. And for me, having all that gear on the car was what I needed to have to make it, reliable and safe and be able to tackle the things that I needed it to do. When you can purchase a snorkel and airbox for, geez, I don't know how much they are nowadays, it'd be over $2,500 no doubt. When the price of a snorkel could be a bull bar on another car, something is not really adding up. And as I've previously mentioned already, the practicality of the Patrol just wasn't suiting me anymore. My lifestyle's changed a little bit now that I've moved down to Victoria. I can do a lot more of the things that I used to do when I was growing up, and a wagon just isn't fitting in the practicality window anymore. I like to go out and cut some firewood, and I don't want to always tow a trailer with me. I'm not fueling a wood fire in a house. I might just want to have a fire in the backyard and enjoy a Friday or Saturday night sitting by the fire. And a tray or half a tray's load of wood is a lot more practical for me. I don't have a practical place to store a heap of firewood, so I don't need a large amount, nor am I going to burn through a large amount of firewood either. So that's why I've decided to move into a dual cab. Now, a dual cab is going to take a lot of getting used to, that's for sure. But like I said, the modularity and the adaptability of a dual cab is just going to fit what I need the car to do a lot more than what the Y62 can do. Dual cab's a lot more flexible, a lot more practical, a lot more modularity. It's a lot easier to pack for trips, and with a good tray and canopy setup, it makes your life so much easier. As a lot of people will know, when you are doing a trip away, or if you are going just on a couple day camp, you load up the back of the wagon and you've got to reach up and try and drag things out, and you're sort of a bit limited on space. Just didn't seem practical when there's other cars out there that are a lot more user friendly in that aspect. So for me right now, it just makes a lot more sense to move the car onto somebody else who will use it for, I suppose, a bit more of what Nissan intended it to be for. They're fantastic cars, and by no means should this put you off buying one. if you are looking at getting one. I would highly recommend getting a Y62 to anyone, especially now before the Y63 comes. And again, it'll probably be the same thing. I mean, there's a lot of people excited for it because, you know, they've seen the Y62 and they know what that platform is capable of being and doing. But I think there's also a lot of apprehension around, is it going to be as good? A lot of people don't think it will be, and of course that's fine. But now is the perfect time to get a Y62, the 5.6 litre V8, all the space in the world, and all updated technology inside the car. It's a perfect time to buy, and from what I've seen, prices aren't too outlandish either. So what have I gone to instead? Well, there isn't a lot of good options, to be honest, for dual cabs on the market at the moment. There isn't really one brand that 100% ticks all of the boxes. You know, you can go Navara, however, they do have some reliability issues. The interior is a bit dated, as well as the technology, as you know, majority of Nissan vehicles are. Whilst their styling looks good, and one of the good points about the Navara was it has a coil rear end, which is a lot better for, you know, forward driving and that sort of thing. You do lose a bit of payload capacity there because obviously leaf springs are a lot better at carrying heavier loads than what coils are. So that was one thing that was good about the Navara, but again, a few reliability issues, and it's a Renault-made diesel engine, which I wasn't particularly keen on, so that ruled out the Navara. Hilux is just ridiculously expensive because you're paying for the Toyota badge, and really, I don't know, Toyota's starting to slip on their reliability recently, so I wasn't going to get a Toyota, and I definitely couldn't swap over to being Toyota after being Nissan for so long. And that leaves the Ranger, and the new Rangers are, well, whilst they are very nice inside and the styling looks good and they seem to be a pretty good platform, especially for towing, they've got a lot of good tech in them for towing. The engines, again, reliability issues. A lot of people have been having a lot of dramas with their new Rangers. So that was a big turn off for me for the Ranger. So then that really only leaves the BT50 and the D-Max. So I started researching into the D-Max, and yeah, I was sold. The D-Max was the way to go. They've got bulletproof driveline. It's amazing. The 4J motor is fantastic and is known for its bulletproof reliability. There's a 4JJ3 now instead of the 4JJ1, but the reliability still remains. And for the price, you get a well sorted out dual cab ute that is, you know, fairly spacious inside, has okay technology, and isn't a bad place to sit in. So that's what I went with. Now, I really wanted an X-Train because it had a few more features that the other models didn't have. That is top of the range for the D-Max. And I wanted something that was pretty low Ks, so I had a bit of a look around, and there was a perfect one for sale for $49,000, and it had done 20,000 Ks. It was a 2024 model, which is the one that I wanted because it has a few more features that the later models didn't have. But of course, I still had to sell the Patrol. And by the time the Patrol was sold, of course, that D-Max was gone as well. So anyway, I had a bit of a look around, and anyway, I thought, well, I'll just have a look at the BT50s because they are just a D-Max, except just with some Mazda touches. And sure enough, you can get a GT, which is the spec below the top spec. I didn't want the top spec because the interior looks horrible on the top spec. Some terrible two-tone leather that just looks foul. So the GT was what I looked into, and I preferred the BT50 over the D-Max. The interior on the BT50 is a lot nicer than what the D-Max is. With Isuzu, you're going to get a bit more rugged personality, and it's not going to be as refined as what Mazda is. Now, we've had a few Mazdas over the years now, and they've been fantastic cars. We've actually had no issues at all. They've never had to go back to the dealership for warranty work, and the build quality has been good, and I honestly can't fault the Mazdas that we've had. So it was a bit of a no-brainer, and they were also cheaper as well. So I got a brand new 2025 BT50, and yeah, I should hopefully have it maybe this week, maybe early next week. I'm looking forward to getting into a different platform that I've never had before. I've never owned a dual cab ute, and I've never owned a diesel vehicle, so it's going to be a whole new experience for me. I'm definitely going to miss that V8 power and the sound. I gained a lot of positives from moving to the BT50 as well. So really, to sum it up, what I was looking for was better fuel economy, better touring and camping practicality, while still being reliable and tough, and still being able to tackle tough four-wheel driving if it needed to, and also being modification friendly. There is a lot more availability for modifications than what there is with the Patrol. You know, you've got your major players with Patrol, whereas with the BT50 there's a lot more competition. Things are priced a lot more competitively than what, you know, things are for the Patrol. So this next chapter of car is about being a bit more smart, being more practical, and building something that fits my lifestyle now. So I'm not sure if the channel will continue to be a thing. I will still always leave it here for people to, you know, get information, figure out how to do things. Ooh, that sounded pretty horrible. The channel will still be here. There's a lot of information there for people, especially newcomers who want to figure out how to do things themselves. Especially with all the bar work stuff, there isn't a lot of good in-depth videos on how to do that sort of thing, and they have already helped quite a few people install their bar work. But if there is enough interest, I will continue to do videos on the modification journey of the BT. There isn't many people doing crazy things with them, and it's not about being the best or showing off or anything like that. It's just doing something different than what everyone else does. And again, that was sort of one of the reasons why, you know, I moved away from the Patrol, because everyone just did the same thing. It was like a stock standard package for the Patrol. A bad thing, it's not anyone's fault, it's just the fact that, you know, you don't have many options with the 62. Something I've always longed for was being able to do different suspension setups. And whilst you can on the Y62, it's expensive and it's difficult to do, and there's lots of engineering involved, and it's just not really worth doing. Especially when, you know, the HPMC is fine as it is. So if there is interest in it, I will do another, you know, I will continue making videos for the BT if people do want to see it. You know, we're going to have train canopy builds, there's going to be suspension stuff, there's going to be engine stuff, there's, yeah, bar work stuff, snorkel, wheels and tyres, you know, you name it. Yeah, it's going to be a new fun adventure, something that I haven't had a lot to do with. You know, I've always had either performance cars or wagon four-wheel drives, so yeah, it's going to be new to me, and I'm excited for that. So just want to say a big thank you to everyone who's followed along the build process, who has, you know, commented and liked and subscribed along the way. All your support has been fantastic, and I hope I've been able to share something and teach you something as we've gone along, whether it's a don't do this mistake or whether it's, you know, actually a good piece of advice that you've taken on board, whether it was, you know, getting you into your first Y62, whatever it was, you know, yeah, thanks for being a part of the journey. When I do get the car, I will do one video at least, just to share my thoughts and how it sort of compares to the Y62, because I know there is a lot of people that are sort of in the same boat, that are on the fence about whether or not, you know, they want to keep their Patrols as well. So I suppose to sign off, the Patrol was fun, I enjoyed it, it was a great car, I'd happily own one again. But it's just the right time to move on into something else. And yeah, I'm sure the new owner will be very happy with their purchase, and will continue to love it just like I did for many happy kilometres to come. Thanks again for watching along, and as always, stay safe, and I'll catch you around.